Welcome to the deep dive. So, our listener sent in some sources that really pull back the curtain on Hollywood. It seems sometimes that glossy surface is just, well, hiding some pretty intense stuff. Corruption, crime, power plays.
Oh, absolutely. We're going way past the velvet ropes today. We're looking at where, real criminal power crashes into celebrity culture.
And the focus. It sounds like a movie plot itself.
It really does. We're tracking this supposed death threat against a huge movie star, Bobby Dye. But what starts as maybe a PR issue just completely unravels. It spirals into murder, blackmail, and basically shakes up who's really pulling the strings in L.A.
Okay, so set the scene. Who's our entry point?
We start with David Spandau. He's our main guy, a private investigator, kind of cynical, used to be a stuntman, which tells you something about him.
Right, seen the less glamorous side, maybe.
Exactly. And he gets hired by this massive talent agency, Allied Talent Group, ATG. Think like super slick Wilshire Boulevard offices, glass walls, probably zero dust, but lots of tension.
And why Spandau? What's the job?
The job seems straightforward. Bobby Dye, the superstar, got a threat note. Really cliche, actually. Cut out letters saying, "You're gonna die. Die I."
Okay, yeah, that does sound pretty cheesy, like something from a bad thriller.
Totally. But, even a cheesy threat against a guy like Bobby Dye,
Oh.
the agency has to take it seriously. Bad press, potential danger, who knows?
But Spandau, with his background, he probably suspects something else is up.
Immediately.
Yeah.
He's looking at this whole setup. Dye's agent, Annie Michaels, who the source calls a Gila monster, which is quite a description.
Yeah. Paints a picture.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's operating out of this, $30 million architectural statement of a building. It's all about image control, power, leverage. Spandau figures the death note. It's probably just noise, a distraction.
A red herring.
The perfect red herring.
Mm.
While ETG is maybe worrying about some crazed fan, Spandau starts sensing the real problem is much closer to home for Dye.
So tell us about Bobby Dye at this point. What's his world like?
He's absolutely at the top. He's promoting this trendy Crusoe remake. He's currently shooting a big action flick called Wildfire. He's basically Hollywood royalty. Untouchable.
As long as the image holds up.
Precisely. That image is everything. And it's about to get very, very threatened, not by the fake note, but by something far worse.
Okay, so what did Spandau find? Where did the real trouble start?
It starts getting clearer when Spandau has a run-in at Dye's movie trailer. This guy, Richie Stella, shows up, owns a hot club, the Voodoo Room, but he's got this nickname, Rat Face.
Doesn't sound like A-list material.
Not at all. He's described as a kind of low-level hustler trying to climb, and he's way too aggressive, too familiar with Dye's space. That's the first major flag for Spandau.
And this leads to the actual crisis.
Yes. This is where it shifts from Hollywood drama to, well, something much darker. The truth comes out. A serious crime already happened
What?
at Bobby Dye's fancy rental house up on Wonderland Avenue.
Oh, wow, okay. What happened?
A young girl died there. An overdose. Heroin and crack, apparently. Found in Dye's bathroom. She's described as maybe only 16, 17 years old.
Oh, man, that's awful. And Dye.
He admits later that he panicked. Completely freaked out. Didn't call 911, didn't call the police. Because, imagine that hitting the news. Career over. Life over, as he knew it.
So that fear,
Yeah.
that's the leverage point.
That's everything, that terror of exposure. So instead of the authorities, he calls people who can, let's say, handle the situation.
And make the problem disappear.
And that brings in the cleanup crew.
Exactly. Enter Potts and Squires. These are not exactly criminal masterminds. They're described as pretty low-level guys, kind of rough around the edges, definitely in over their heads.
What was their process like? How did they handle it?
The source paints this really grim picture. It's like 3 a.m., foggy, they're driving these winding canyon roads, checking street signs. Potts is apparently obsessing about LA freeways and how dangerous they are, which is kind of darkly funny given what they're actually doing.
Yeah, a bit of misplaced anxiety there. Right. They get to the house, and Spandau calls it a hippie Valhalla, which gives you a sense of the place, and they find the girl, just slumped on the toilet, needles still on her thigh. Her tights are down around her ankles. It's just stark.
Ugh.
Awful.
God, what a scene. So they need to get rid of the body, obviously. But there's more to it, right? The blackmail angle.
Yes. And this is crucial. Richie Stella, the Rat Face Club owner, he's not just helping Dye out of kindness. He told Potts to bring a camera. But not just any camera.
Let me guess, not a smartphone.
Definitely not. A cheap, disposable 35mm film camera. Stella specifically wanted film. He told Potts to take establishing shots, photos, proving where this happened. In Dye's house.
Okay, I have to ask again, why film in this day and age? Seems counterintuitive for crime.
Stella's reasoning, according to the source, was simple paranoia. He explicitly said he didn't trust his own guys, Potts and Squires, not to make endless digital copies if it was like an SD card.
Ah, okay, so a physical negative.
Is physical collateral. There's only one. You know who has it. You control it. That single roll of film showing the dead girl in Bobby Dye's house. That becomes the leash.
Wow. Analog proof for analog control? That's clever in a really grimy way.
It really is. And there's this other detail about the cleanup that's just strange.
What's that?
Potts. Before they move her body, he pulls her tights back up.
What? Why?
His justification, in his own head apparently, was that he didn't want anyone finding the body later to think that they had, interfered with her,
Yeah.
actually assaulted her.
That is incredibly messed up. A sort of twisted code of conduct while disposing of a body.
Yeah, it just shows the weird psychology going on. Anyway, after that, they drive out to the desert near Indio, dig a shallow grave in the sand. Potts notes it leaves a huge lump. They worry about coyotes.
Grim. So the body's gone, the scene's clean, and Stella has his film roll.
And the blackmail starts. But here's the twist. Stella doesn't demand a huge pile of cash.
No. What does he want?
He wants Bobby Dye to star in some terrible movie script he has. He wants to be a producer. He wants legitimacy, status.
So he's leveraging this horrific secret not for money, but to break into Hollywood.
Exactly. It's not about the cash. It's about rubbing shoulders with the legitimate players. Yeah. Which tells you a lot about his ambition and maybe his lack of professional criminal sense.
Yeah, it feels like he's playing out of his league. Does Spandau figure this out?
He starts connecting the dots, especially when he talks to Meg Patterson, an LA Times reporter.
Yeah.
She basically lays it out for him.
What does she say?
She tells him Richie Stella is just a two-bit punk.
Yeah.
Small time. The real power, the guy who actually uses Stella's company, Collateral Pictures, as a front. That's Salvatore Locatelli.
The mob boss.
The mob boss. Meg tells Spandau flat out, Locatelli owns Los Angeles, lock, stock, and stinking barrel. He's the one quietly funding movies, moving money, gaining influence. Stella is just a noisy wannabe using Locatelli's infrastructure.
Okay, so the stakes just got way higher. This isn't just about a club owner anymore.
Not even close. And Spandau realizes he needs more intel on Stella's actual operations, separate from the blackmail. So he brings in his own guy.
Who's that?
His colleague, Terry McGuinn, described as short, like 5'6", but a martial arts expert, apparently reads Tolkien. A bit of an odd duck, but loyal and good at his job.
An interesting character. What does McGuinn find?
He confirms Stella is deeper in the dirt than just the club scene. He's running a crack lab out of some rusty trailer in the desert supplied by his cousin Martin.
Okay, so Stella's juggling drug manufacturing and trying to be a movie mogul using blackmail. That sounds messy.
Extremely messy.
Yeah.
And McGuinn getting close clearly spooks Stella, because Stella decides to escalate things big time.
How so?
He orders Potts and Squires, the same cleanup crew, to go after McGuinn, to find him on his sailboat down at Ventura Harbor and rough him up.
Just rough him up, not eliminate him.
Stella's specific order apparently was just intimidation. And crucially, leave the woman alone. There was a woman with McGuinn, Allison. She actually managed Stella's club, the Voodoo Room, and Terry had sort of befriended her.
Stella wanted controlled violence, but Potts and Squires
are not exactly surgeons of subtlety. Plus, Potts is high. Squires gave him some pills. He's buzzing, maybe can't hear well. The situation is primed for disaster.
Oh boy, what happens on the boat?
Total chaos. They get onto the boat. Squires completely ignores Stella's order about Allison. He tries to sexually assault her inside the cabin.
Oh, God.
Potts hears commotion, maybe a gunshot near his ear making things ring.
Right.
He's drugged, panicked. He reacts instinctively and shoots Squires, his own partner.
He kills Squires. Wow. Okay, so now it's just Potts, McGuinn, and Allison.
And Potts realizes instantly the situation is, as the source puts it, fucked. He can't control it. McGuinn and Allison are witnesses. They saw him kill Squires. They can link him and therefore Richie Stella to everything the boat attack, probably even the original overdose cover-up if they start talking.
So he has to silence them.
In his panicked, drugged state, that's his conclusion. He murders Allison. Then he murders Terry McGuinn. Tries to make it look like something else entirely. But he believes he's eliminated everyone who could connect him or Stella to the crime spree.
Just catastrophic. From a discreet cover-up to a triple murder on a boat. This is exactly the kind of attention Locatelli would hate, right?
Exactly right. This is way too much heat, way too public, too ugly. The source makes it clear Locatelli values quiet, legitimate-seeming infiltration. Stella's operation has become the opposite of that. He's drawn way too much attention.
And where does Spandau fit into this endgame? He's been investigating, but now things are spiraling.
Well, Spandau tries to get closer, maybe attending a premiere related to Stella's film efforts, and he gets badly beaten by Locatelli's muscle, specifically a guy named Gerardo. But this beating, ironically, leads him right to the top.
He gets access to Locatelli.
Essentially, yes. He ends up reporting what he knows directly to the boss. And Spandau's smart enough to understand the real crime, in Locatelli's eyes, wasn't the overdose or even the blackmail. It was the mess, the lack of discretion.
He gives Locatelli the justification to clean house.
He provides the information confirming Stella is a liability, that he's unstable, violent, and attracting unwanted attention. Locatelli needs him gone.
And the removal is swift.
Very swift.
Yeah.
And very pointed. Spandau is later picked up, basically abducted, and taken to Richie Stella's office at the Voodoo Room.
And Stella is
Dead. Shot once,
Yeah.
cleanly, in the forehead. Professional job. Total contrast to the boat massacre.
Wow, and the blackmail collateral, the film.
This is the kicker.
Yeah.
That roll of 35mm film, it's tied around Stella's neck.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, like an amulet, the source says. It's a brutal message. Your leverage killed you. Your ambition was your downfall.
So Spandau finds this scene. What does he do with the film?
He takes it, and he knows exactly who it belongs to now in the new hierarchy. He delivers it straight to Locatelli.
Which leads to the final turn of the screw for Bobby Dye.
Absolutely. Locatelli arranges a meeting with Dye, high-end restaurant, very civilized. And he gives the film roll back to Dye.
So the blackmail is over, Dye is free.
The threat of exposure from that specific film is over, yes. But he's not free. Giving the film back isn't an act of mercy. It's a demonstration of absolute power. Locatelli is showing Dye who saved him, who owns him now.
So Dye is now indebted to and essentially controlled by the mob boss.
Completely. Collateral Pictures, Locatelli's front, starts financing Dye's projects. He's absorbed into the very system he was terrified of. He's safe, his career continues, but he's no longer his own man.
And the final irony.
The source describes the scene where Frank Gerardo, Locatelli's heavy, who beat up Spandau earlier, actually wins some kind of industry award. And on stage, he gives this big thank you speech.
Let me guess.
He thanks Collateral Pictures for their courage and vision. The mob's legitimacy is cemented right there in public.
Unbelievable. So wrapping this up, it's not about justice at all.
Not even remotely. It's about power shifting. Spandau realized Stella wasn't taken out because he was a criminal. He was taken out because he was, quote, ugly, messy. Locatelli cleaned up the operation, made it discreet again.
And Bobby Dye, he gets to keep the fame, the career.
But at what cost? He becomes, as the source implies, a kind of meat puppet. He traded his soul, his autonomy, for security within the corrupt system.
It seems like that drive for status, for control, just consumes everyone involved here. From Potts trying to follow twisted rules, to Stella wanting to be a producer, to Locatelli wanting to own it all.
It really permeates every level, and that glamour, that power, it looks appealing from the outside, maybe.
But that line from the source really sticks with you. They couldn't take your soul unless you offered it first. Dye made his offer the moment he decided against calling 911.
A chilling thought. Which kind of leads us to the final question for you, the listener. In a world where it seems everything and everyone can be bought, leveraged, used as collateral, what's the one thing in your life, the truly valuable thing, that you would absolutely refuse to put on the table? What's non-negotiable for you?